one of the things that I get asked about is how do you deal with cravings? And to be honest, that answer varies depending on the circumstances, but it is something that I've been struggling with a lot in the last 24 hours. And so I figured it's probably a good time to kind of talk about it. I've been a mess the last 24 hours, to be honest. I think, I've been carnivore for 18 months. I've been on this keto carnivore world for, a little over 18 months. I have been maintaining my weight loss for the last year, and I still have bad days. In the last year, I can count on one hand the number of times I've had anything that was non-carnivore, and it's been many months for me. But I still struggle with emotional triggers and emotional cravings. And I still have days like the last 24 hours that are just really hard. I think I was so focused on Thanksgiving, like how do I get through Thanksgiving and not cheat, that I planned everything down. I'm really proud of myself. I stayed strict on Thanksgiving. The day after, I had a lot of family in town with everybody else in my house eating things not on plan. It was fine. And I had focused on that. It was like that's what I put all my energy into. I probably ate more cheese than I should have, and I ate more often than I should have, but I still did not eat anything non-carnivore. So that I am proud of. Maybe it is just the frequency of my meals, or the fact that I was eating a bunch of cheese kind of as a holiday treat, or likely just from the emotions of family and, having a lot of people around and the chaos of that. I got through Friday and Thursday of Thanksgiving and Friday, and once that was over, I kind of just like breathed a sigh of relief, like, okay, I made it, I did it, I survived Thanksgiving, now where's my reward? And the family left, and then I was by myself with the kids, and it was back to reality and cleaning the house and chaos, and it's like, okay, where's my reward? I stayed on plan, I need a treat, I need to reward myself, now where's the food? I made the mistake of looking up one of my favorite dessert places in town, and their limited edition flavor of this treat was one of my favorite things. So that was my first mistake to I was already feeling frustrated and emotional, and I decided to go, browse around a Facebook page and look for tasty treats that I don't eat anymore. And I think a lot of those things, the emotional release of family leaving and the holidays and looking for that reward, that I just then started thinking about having a cheat day. And, I made it through Thanksgiving. I can totally have a cheat day and then get back on track before Christmas again. Next thing you know, I loaded up the kids and we decided we were going to go to the store. And in my head, I was going to buy some treats and have a cheat night. And I'm not going to describe all the things, but this was a decision that I was making, right? Over and over and over again. In the last 24 hours, I was completely fighting myself. We drove to the store, the kids said they wanted Christmas decorations, and in my head I'm like, well, I could also get candy. And I was like, okay, let's go get Christmas decorations. And the 5-minute drive to the store was me fighting with myself about, could I have this? Well, if I have a cheat day, I need to have these 7 things to get it out of my system. And then, what about this? And then you could order that specialty item and they deliver it and the kids would be in bed and nobody would know. And, I have no issue staying on track when everybody's around. Thanksgiving Day, family's in town. Of course I'm going to stay strict because people are watching me, and I am an obliger. I want to please people, and I would never let anybody know that I failed or that I cheated. But the minute the family leaves and the kids go to bed and my husband is out working and I'm home by myself on the couch is when all of those feelings of nobody would know. I could get back on track tomorrow, but really maybe actually I'm going out of town. I'm traveling for work this week, and so I could keep this up for 4 days and nobody would really know. And that's when all the very specific things start coming into play, and I don't want to talk to anybody about it because I don't want to be talked out of it. And there in turn becomes a 24-hour battle with myself that's just really emotionally exhausting. And, this is probably really dramatic to some of you who don't struggle with this, who can have a cheat and get back on track again. But, you guys know that I can't do that. And so, I was at the store. I took pictures of like 6 or 7 things that I wanted to eat, and my way of trying to cope with it was to send those pictures to Chris, which was not very nice of me to do to him, but I'm sending them to him and he's messaging me back like, it's not worth it, you know, hang in there, do you need me to come home? And him giving me support. But I intentionally didn't talk about it on Instagram, and I didn't reach out to any of my carnivore friends because I wanted an out to be able to cheat if I felt like it and not have anybody know. You know, woke up today expecting to feel proud of myself. We're gonna wake up today. I didn't cheat yesterday when that's all I thought about. Aren't you proud of yourself? And to be honest, I wasn't. I was more irritated. I was like, man, I totally could have cheated yesterday and nobody would have known. And I should have. And I was almost feeling regret that I didn't. I talked to Chris about it today and really worked through that and talked about some of the emotional triggers that I'm having. I'm feeling stressed. There's likely some hormone things going on as well. And acknowledging that, I told him I cannot eat another New York strip today. I need to treat myself to some ribeyes. So I went to the store and bought some ribeyes that were not on sale. I ate 2 pounds of ribeye for lunch. And now, late in the day, 24 hours later, I am feeling better. I am glad I didn't cheat. I am glad that I stayed on plan. But I am also really emotionally exhausted. It is hard sometimes just fighting yourself off and making that decision. I feel like I made 1,000 decisions yesterday to say no, and to say no 1,000 times sometimes seems so much harder than just saying yes. But I know that one little yes, one M&M, one scoop of peanut butter would have resulted in at least 24 hours of me eating a lot of junk and carbs. I wish that I could give you all the answers. I wish someone could give me all the answers. And I, would love to make a video called 6 Simple Steps to Stay on Track and Never Deal with Cravings. But unfortunately, it's just not that easy. Amy Berger uses that phrase a lot. Simple does not mean easy. And I try to remind myself of that a lot, where, when I'm struggling with something that seems like a really simple thing and I want to be angry with myself that you can't just say no to carbs and you are having a hard time with this, what's wrong with you? I keep reminding myself of that. What she says often is simple doesn't mean easy. And I give myself that grace to struggle and acknowledge the things that I'm dealing with and push through. And once I get far enough past it, I'm always glad that I did. And so I would just encourage you to don't stop saying no to yourself. It will be worth it. And you are not alone. We are all dealing with this. There are so many more people that are dealing with this than you realize. Don't let isolation feed your addiction.